into today's lesson. We are actually on lesson 3 of 4. And today we're going to be talking about quadrilaterals. But before we go, I need to remind you guys that we're actually talking about trigonometry. Guys, remind me again, pop any ideas in the chat. What should we be thinking? Where should our minds be when we see trigonometry questions? What is the thing that we should be thinking about when we see trig? Karen, you can even put your hand up and tell me. You can put your hand up and tell me. Ah, beautiful. I'm seeing everybody saying sine, cos, tan. Good. Excellent, Mateo. I like how you give us the mnemonic device. Which is awesome. Mateo also says we need to think of SOHCAHTOA. Okay. SOHCAHTOA. Beautiful. SOHCAHTOA. Beautiful. Sinobusha says special triangles. Good. We know we've got our 50-30 triangle and we've got our 45-degree triangle as well, which is exactly what we need to be thinking. Ah, beautiful. Mateo says the shift angle, guys. We are never to forget the shift angle. Math is not an answer. You can't just say, when we think of trig, we think of math. No, that's not a good enough answer. Okay, good. We need to remember the shift angle, guys. So for those of you who are new and you don't know what a shift angle is, every time we see a question where they ask us about an angle, we automatically know we need to shift on our calculator because that's how we're going to find the angle. Beautiful. And then, who is it? Is it Nicole reminding us? Nicole. We must remember that sometimes we don't even need we can just use Python. Sometimes Python is good enough. We can get everything we need just by using Python. All right, which is because trig normally happens within right angles. That's not always going to be the case. In grade 11, it's going to change up a little bit. But normally, when we see right angle triangles, we should think trig ratios, and we should think Python. Yes, all the time. I see your hand is up. Would you like to unmute? I also feel like they've got a handle on this. All right. Olotanas, if it's difficult, if you're on a phone, swipe your screen left or right and look, there's a big speak button that's going to allow you to unmute. And thank you, Mawan, for reminding us that how is also a thing. It sounds like a Chinese person, you know. Shoshapao. And what Shoshapao is basically the cousins. It's the cousins. Can somebody remind me, what are the cousins? Who are the cousins of sine, cos, and tan? Anybody remember? Who are the cousins of sine, cos, and tan? Beautiful. One of them is cosec. We know that cosec is sine's cousin of cosec. And then cos's cousin is sec. And tan's cousin is cot. Beautiful. That's all the stuff that we need to remember. Wonderful. So everything that we need is written on the screen. Beautiful stuff, guys. Amazing. Okay. Now, let's look at our first question over here. Now, the first thing Teacher Coco will always tell you is whatever it is that has been written over here is an NB must read. Okay. Because sometimes they will write things up here that they don't put in the picture. That's your job to put it in the picture. Okay. No worries. Okay, Aptiwe, even if I say hi, Aptiwe, she won't hear me. So teacher knows, please, you could please help Aptiwe else. I'm not going to be able to help Aptiwe. All right. So we just need to make sure that we understand exactly what's happening. All right. All right. Let's start here. It says here, triangle PQR and triangle SQR are right angled triangles. We're already off to a great start because we know right angled triangles are exactly what we need in order to answer these questions. They're shown in the diagram below. And then they tell us that PR is equal to 26. Let's just go make sure. So PR all the way there. Right. PR is equal to 26, which is excellent, right? Then they say PQ is 24, beautifully done. QS is 8, SR is 10, and PQR, the angle Q made by P and R over there, this angle is theta. Actually, they've got this the wrong way around. This should actually read PQR PRQ. Okay, so if you're taking notes, please make sure that you're correcting that. Okay, PRQ is equal to theta, right? And Anachita's like jumped the gun already. I didn't even know how to help you. Why? Give people some space. Let them breathe. Hold on. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's start with the first question over here. We know that they want us to look at tan, right? Tan of the angle P. Okay. So we're gonna have to go to P over here. If this is my angle P, sure, quite a lot of trouble. All right. Can I just get a thumbs up if you guys can hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Because I'm getting a lot of people saying they can't hear me right now, and it's worrying me a little. She can't hear me properly. She can't hear me properly. Okay. Hi, Shayden. My network is bad. Okay. I've got full bars, but what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to jump. I'm going to hop off the call for like 1 second, and then I'm going to hop straight back on. Okay. So give me a second, guys. Okay, I will be right back. Teacher Nels, can we pause the recording? Excellent, guys. All right. So we're going to look at this value P over here. Now, if I had to look at my angle P, which is what they want, what is this side called? The side right next to my angle P, this 24. What side do we label that? Beautiful, good, amazing. This is the adjacent side, good. So the side closest, the side right next door to my angle is always my adjacent side, good. And if we look from our angle P all the way to the bottom, right, the bottom over there, what side is this called? Excellent, it's the opposite side, good. And we know that the side that is always opposite our right angled triangle, that side over there is the hypotenuse. Excellent, amazing, awesome. All right, cool beans. So in terms of P, that's the formula that we've got over here. So when they ask us for tan P, they don't actually want the angle. They don't want the angle. They want the ratio of tan in terms of P. And we know that tan is made up of what? So tan of the angle P is going to equal to over adjacent. Okay. And Mamelo, if you start giving me decimals, that means you did exactly, I'm going to mark you wrong because you did exactly what I told you not to do. Told you exactly. Because in my instructions, this is what I said. What did I say? I said, without using a calculator. So as soon as you start giving me things like 0.41, I know. Well, I know that you just went and you clicked it in your calculator. Eh? Mawande, what's up?
Ma'am, how are you?
Yes, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, can you like divide the number to the smallest possible, like 5 up above 12, or is it like must it stay 10 over 24?
No. In fact, what you've done is 100%. We must make it, put it in its simplest. That's one of the instructions that you get from your exam. Okay, to simplify as far as possible.
Okay,
all right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Excellent, good. So Mawanda's just, given it away. Obviously, the answer is going to be 10, which is our opposite, over our adjacent, which is 24. But we must simplify, and I know that both goes both into 10 and into 24. So this then becomes 5 over 4. Now, for the next question, 5.1.2, I'm going to assume that they didn't write this correctly, all right, because of that mistake that they've made there. Okay, so, oh no, actually, it's written correctly. It would have been wrong if it was PQR. All right, so let's look for the sign of SQR. Now, remember the way we read the way we read this is always to start with the place that they've given us. So they've said S, which is over there, S, Q, R, right? And the little hat, okay, is on the Q, which means the angle we're actually looking at is that one there, that angle over there, where the hat, we just need to make sure it's made up of the correct stuff. So again, guys, we're going to have this conversation again. This 8 is the 1. In relation to my angle P, what is the 8 in relation to my angle P? It's not the hypotenuse. Remember, there is my right angle triangle. Beautiful, Nicole. Excellent. That's it. It's my adjacent side. The one right next to it is my adjacent side, right? The one furthest away, the one all the way on the other side, Jessica's already there, is the opposite side. Good. And the one always opposite my right angle triangle. Now, this one that was opposite for the other triangle now becomes the hypotenuse for this triangle that we've got over here. Right. Now, they're saying to us that they want sine of SQR. So we're going to use the source. Right. So we now want sine of the angle Q, not theta, not theta, Q, teacher Coco. Sine of the angle Q is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So what is the answer that we would get here? Beautiful. Yes, Mawanda, of course you can answer. I mean, everybody's already kind of given it away because everybody's got the answer for us. Excellent. It's 6 over 10 because the opposite from my angle is 6 and the hypotenuse is 10. So I will have 10. Oh, now I'm starting with 10. Oh, yeah. 6 over 10. And it is, Mawanda, you are 100% correct. I noticed that 2 can go into both numbers. So I'm going to divide by 2. I'm going to simplify my fraction to 3 over 5. Okay. Now, before we continue, I want you guys to give me a thumbs up if everything we've just done makes perfect sense to you. Give me a thumbs up. If you're not sure what's going on, give me a thumbs down. Okay, because the next question I'm going to work through with you. Now, if you've given me a thumbs up, which I knew many of you guys will, because like if you're a veteran Watobe and we are literally wizards, like nobody's got anything on our screen because we're that right. If you're still stuck, I want you to stick with me. Okay. If you're not stuck, however, I'm going to make you guys do 5.1.3 and 5.1.4 all on your own. Right. And I'm going to throw in there bonus. You can go ahead and do 5.2 as well. Okay. So for those of you who understand 100% what's going on, run for it. Run for it. Run with it. Go find your answer. Go find your answers, guys. Don't even stress about it. For those of you who are still a bit confused, I want you guys to stay with me. We're going to do it flow together. Right. The rest of you guys, once you're done with 5.2, pop your favorite emoji in the chat for me. Okay. Mawande, seriously, I think you're way too fast. No worries, no Lwazi. All right, Chipara. That's okay, Odea. Okay. For those of you who are still confused and you'd like to have a conversation with me, I want you to put your hand up, okay? Because the best way we're going to get this is if we 100% engage with it. So if you're still stuck and you'd like to have a conversation with me, can I ask you to put your hand up, please? And let's talk. I promise, guys, I'm not that scary. Have a conversation. Nambulelo, wonderful, my sweetie. Hi, Nambulelo, how are you doing?
Good evening, ma'am. So for 5.1.4, would we have to solve for angle R before we do the calculation?
No, not in this case. Because remember, they don't want R, they want cos of R. So what they actually want is the ratio. They want cos of the angle is equal to the hypotenuse. So that's what we want, not the angle. So if they do this, if they say to you, I want cos of theta, you give them something over something. But if they ask you for just theta, then you click shift for the angle. Do you see the difference there? Does that make sense? So if they ask you for cos of the angle, you give them a number, a side over a side. But if they ask you for just theta, then you're going to give them an answer in degrees. Does that make sense, Nombulelo?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Oh, there, I saw your hand up, my sweetie. You want to put your hand back up? Let's have a conversation, you and I. Where are you? Come back. Hi, Clayton, and I'm not even surprised that you're part of a Grease musical. I am not in the slightest bit surprised. That's okay. That's okay if you're shy. Just I need you to engage with me in the chat, okay? If you're shy and you don't want to unmute, that's perfectly fine, guys. We can just I'm slowly going to go through the question with you. We're gonna have that conversation in just a little bit. Hey, Kama. Always so dramatic. Love it. Love, love, love. All right. So, guys, let's start by first looking at they want from us in 5.1.4. They want cos in terms of the angle theta. So the first thing we need to do is go and find theta, right? And I think I forgot to write down the steps for the two of you. Guys, different Watobians, remind me, what is step number 1? When we are doing trig questions, what is step number 1? Ah, beautiful. Good. We need to label. We always label. All right, we're going to label. So we're going to go and find the angle theta. You see that the angle theta is over here. And angle theta is in this triangle. The triangle theta. It's in this whole triangle over here. Oh no, Manila. Okay. Teacher Nels, can you please help out Manila? Manila can't see my screen. All right. So we're going to label. First thing we're going to do is we're going to say, if this is the angle theta, okay, what is the side called? In terms of my angle theta, what is the side called? Beautiful. It's the adjacent, because it's the one right next to my angle. So it's the adjacent side. Right. Now, if I go all the way to the other side, what do we call that? That's the opposite side. Excellent. Okay, good. And then we know that the side always on the other side of my right angle is my hypotenuse. Beautiful, is my hypotenuse. Okay, that is the most important thing to label, because we don't want to get this wrong. Right, step number 2, Pete. What is step number 2? Beautiful, Nicole. Oh, you are just a whole gem today. What we have versus what we want. Okay, so the question says, what we want is cos of theta, right? What do we have? What we have is the adjacent side, the opposite side, and we have our hypotenuse. Now, what do we want? What do we want? What does this thing want from us? What does the question actually want from us? What does 5.1.3 want from us in terms of questions? Not the reference angle, it wants not just the angle. What do we want? Good, it wants the cos ratio. I couldn't have put it better myself, Mawandi. Beautiful. It wants the ratio of cos theta. All right, so it wants cos theta a ratio. So what we want is cos of theta. But we know from SOHCAHTOA that cos of theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So now all we need to do is go look back at our drawing and look for the adjacent side. How much was on the adjacent side, by the way? Adjacent was how much? Beautiful. 10. Thanks, Rutsepile. Excellent, Jessica. Good. Good, Mamelo. 610 over the hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse here? Which side have we labeled hypotenuse? The side that says 26. Beautiful. Good. We've labeled 26 as the hypotenuse, but we need to make this a little bit simpler because both of them are even numbers. Simplify for me, guys. 10 over 26 simplifies to, I wonder you're on fire today. You are just 100% on fire. Excellent. Divide both by 2, we would get 5 over 13. All right. Excellent, guys. Okay, so we just need to go through these steps. All right. The third step is actually to set up an equation, which is what we've done over here. But we'll get to that because sometimes they give us an angle and a side and we need to find another side. It's messy, but we'll get there. All right. So let's look at this next one over here. I need a volunteer. Who wants to go through 4.1.5.1.4? Any brave soul? Anybody? Veteran Watobians, I'm looking at y'all. Anachita. Excellent. How are you doing, my guy?
I'm fine, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I know you're always ready for the trig maths because you know it's your thing. Always love to see your hand up. All right, are we ready? Okay.
Yes.
Thing we're going to do is you're going to help us label. All right, because now our angle has changed, so we need to label all over again. Which angle are we working with?
We're working with SRQ.
Good. So we need to go find SRQ. Okay. So this down is a little bit complicated than we thought. All right. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Cool. If we're looking at SRQ, let's start.
Okay. So since it's cos, it's going to be adjacent over hypotenuse.
Good. So which side is the adjacent side?
Our adjacent side is 6.
Good. This is our adjacent side. What is our opposite side? Where's our opposite?
Our opposite is 8. But our hypotenuse, yeah, okay.
Good. Now hypotenuse is going to be
10.
10. Excellent. Good. We're done. Right. What do we have? We need to do halves versus ones now. What do we have?
Well, we already have our sides.
Good. We have all the sides, right? We have the opposite, the adjacent, and the hypotenuse. What do they want from us?
We want to find our angle R.
Not the angle R.
What do you mean SR, like cos SRQ? Right.
Good. We want the cos of the angle. Good. So we want the ratio of cos SRQ.
Yes.
Now I'm going to set up my equation, right? I'm going to say that 1 over cos of SRQ is equal to 1 over. Now give me the ratio of cos SRQ. So cos R. What is that going to be?
6 and 10.
Good. It's 6 over 10. It's adjacent of our hypotenuse. 6 over 10. Beautiful. Let's clean this up. What does it actually come up?
Could it be 10 over 6 since it's an inverse of sec?
That's the exactly 6. Correct? It's not really cos. We're looking for, which is 10 over 6 is equal to simplify.
Which, hold on.
Wait, taking give me the answer.
Should we simplify it or should we just?
Yeah. Remember, there's a number that can go into both 10 and into.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's going to be 5 over 3.
Beautiful. That's exactly your answer I'm looking for. You did that excellently, my guys. Well done.
I don't know. I'm just feeling very slow today. I don't know. I just woke up very slow.
That's okay. That's okay. The maths will wake us up eventually. Don't stress about it.
Yeah,
all good.
sad part is it's Monday.
Sorry, I mean, you're half asleep and you're still giving me the right answers. So, you know, We're off to a great.
Okay,
Awesome stuff. Thanks, Anutida.
welcome.
Nicole is asking, Gonzalo, please don't put your hand down. Nicole is asking, how did we get 10 over 6? All right. So if I have 1 divided by 6 over 10, Nicole, how am I going to change that divide? I'm going to do a switcheroo. I'm calling it a switcheroo. A Tippin times or a KFC. Right. So I'm going to end up with 1 times 10 over 6, which is going to give me 10 over 6. Does that make sense? Right. So my answer then becomes 10 over 6. But because it's a fraction, and I know that 2 can go into both, I'm going to divide by 2, divide by 2, and that's going to leave me with 5 over 3. Those of you who are a bit confused, give me a thumbs up if what I've just done makes sense. Yeah. Awesome. Cool stuff, guys. Okay, awesome. So we're just like quickly doing it. So the answer that we wanted here was 5. Awesome. Now, Tintuala, where did you go? I thought you were gonna help me answer this next question, which is kind of nice. Okay, somebody says, ma'am, why can't our adjacent be QR? Because remember, the side opposite our right angle is always the hypotenuse. It can't be that, because this one is already taken. It can't be that one. Okay. Already taken. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Somebody gonna help me with this next one that we've got here? Somebody? Anybody want to help me with 5.2? It's quite a nice question. Shaden, I haven't heard your voice in such a long time. Don't you want to raise your hand and help me? Come through. Come on, we can do it together. Ah, Olotando. Yay. Hello, Olotando. Yes, Shaden, I want to hear your voice. Hi, Olotando. How are you doing, my sweetie? Olotando seems very frustrated because she can't get a hold of me. Teacher, now mind DMing Olotando. I know she even said, hey, Bunny. I know.
Oh, I'm still with the present course.
Okay.
I was supposed
All right.
on, yeah. We'll get to in a second.
Okay, sure. No worries. Okay, all right. Okay, let's go through this one. And like, I kind of feel like everybody's scared of it, and it's not that scary. All right, let me ask this question before we continue. Because they want sine of QRS, they want an angle, or do they want the ratio? Which one do they want? Do they want the angle, or do they want the ratio? Focus, guys, focus. What do they want from us? An angle or a ratio? Who says angle? Who says ratio? Jessica says they want an angel. Okay, Mawanda says ratio. Mamela says ratio, but not sure. Okay, I'm seeing ratio. So I've got 2 angles and ratios. All right. Chiparo saying, when did we get the ratio? Chiparo, opposite over hypotenuse, this is called a ratio. Okay. Oratino, you can't cheat. Oratino's like an angle ratio. No. Ah. I'll take you, Amkalang. I don't mind. Confidently, I like to hear that. Sika says confidently ratio. And ratio is, in fact, the correct answer. Remember, guys, if they say to us, give me theta. If they say, give me theta, what do I want? If they say, give me theta, what do they want me to find? Theta is a what? Beautiful. Theta is an angle. That means I need to go to my calculator and teach. But if they say to me, give me cos, of theta, what do they want? The ratio of cos. Like you could even have put it better. Okay, beautifully done. They want the ratio of cos. The ratio. Okay, good. Anything related to theta? Nicely put, Mawandi. Excellent. So I'm going to ask this question again. I'm going to ask this question again. Over here, sine of QRS. Do they want the angle or the ratio? Beautiful. Refilwe. Mawandi Bushe. That's it. That's it. Excellent stuff. Okay. Okay. Now, all right. So let's go ahead and let's label. We need to find QRS, and we've just been working with QRS. Anotita actually labeled it for us. There is QRS, which means we're working with this angle over here. Now, we know that with accordance to QRS, this side over here is our adjacent. That side over there is our opposite. And this side, the one that's opposite our 90-degree angle, that's our hypotenuse. All right. So if we had to look for sine of QRS, give me the ratio guys. Remember, sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. So what would the opposite over the hypotenuse be? Beautiful bouquet. Opposite is 8. And my hypotenuse is 10. Good. So now I've got 8 over 10. However, we're not done. Now we need to go find tan of theta. Again, I'm going to ask you guys, do they want an angle or a ratio? Do they want an angle or a ratio? I'm seeing everybody say angle. Remember, guys, if they wanted an angle, they would have just given us theta. But they're giving us tan theta. So what do they want? They actually want the ratio. Okay, they want the ratio. But then again, that's okay. They want the ratio. It's okay. This is the place where we make the mistakes. Okay, so that we don't make them in the test. All right, so we need to go find theta. Here is theta. And if we have to label, this 10 over here is our what side? What side is it? Good, it's our adjacent. Thank you, Nicole. Beautiful. This 24 over here is our, that's beautiful. And we know across from our 90-degree angle, that is our hypotenuse. See, somebody's already given me an answer. I'm going to corroborate that in just a second. Let's see if it's actually right. Okay, so guys, find me tan. Remember tan of theta. Tan of theta is opposite over adjacent. So I want you guys to take the opposite over the adjacent. Give me the ratio of tan. Excellent. 24 over 10. Nicely done, Sinubute. 24 over 10. Now, because it says without a calculator, there's still a few things that we need to do. Guys, I'm going to be very honest with you, né? Even me, I still struggle with dividing fractions. Somehow, my brain just can't wrap my brain around it. So what I still do to this day is I'm going to treat this thing here in the middle as a divide sign. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to write it like this. I'm going to write 8 over 10 divided by 24 over 10. So, okay, what that's going to do is it's going to help me take this divide sign and different times to make it times, correct? So I'm going to end up with 8 over 10 times 10 over 24. Guys, my brain doesn't work, doesn't do it. My brain can't. I have to keep in time. Otherwise, my brain just can't do it. All right. Then I know I can cross cancel. Cross cancel. So what I have left over here is 8 over 24. And if I simplify this, simplify 8 over 24 for me, guys. What is 8 over 24? Excellent. It's 1 over 3. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. All right. Okay. Now, before we continue, because that was the last part of this particular question we're doing, I want you guys to give me on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being, I don't understand. You may as well have been speaking Wakandan. I don't understand. And 10 being, I'm with you, ma'am. This stuff is easy, like every day. Who said this, the dividing part is not make sure? Shaded, okay. Okay, it's okay. We just need to get, it's just like fractions. We're just working with fractions. Okay, I'm getting a lot of 7s. I see a couple of 4s. Chiparo's like minus many, many zeros, okay, which is shocking a little. Yes, Wakandan. Yeah. Don't bowl. I'm sorry, Kama. I'm very sorry. It's not actually Mawande. Wakandan is actually supposed to be Kosa, and they're demolishing it. They are demolishing it in those movies. It hurts my heart sometimes when I hear it. That's okay. That's okay, Faro. If you just if you just come through, that's perfectly fine. Okay. We're just going to jump into it very slowly. Okay, so don't rush your way into it. Nothing. I know, Mawandi, I know. But they still use, because Wakanda's a made-up piece. Yes, Shaden.
Maybe you said you missed my voice.
I forgot to say. I get to hear Shaden's voice. Now you need to say something else. You're taking this a little.
That part there at the bottom.
It's good to hear from you, though. It feels like you've been gone for a long while. No, it's not nice to not have you. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, do you
Okay.
mind the bottom part? Please, because that is messing with my.
All right. Where did I lose you? Did I lose you at the divide or at this part over here?
That part right there.
This one over here. Okay, with how we found the ratios. Do you understand how I found 8 over 10 and 24 over 10? Okay with that?
Actually, not really, actually.
Is it okay? Are you breaking
So,
up just a little? Okay, let's look at it again. All right, so we want sine of QRS. There's my angle. QRS is that one, that big one, right? So I know that if I'm looking at that big one, this is going to be my, let me do it different. It's going to be my adjacent side. That 8 over there is my opposite, and this is my hypotenuse. Agreed?
yes, ma'am.
So if you look at the yellow, find me sine of the angle R. The angle R in orange. Find me sine. Going to give me?
Going on here, like I get so confused.
Okay, that's what I'm like. Labeling is going to be the thing that helps us. Let's start this again. If we look at the angle R, it's over here, right? Which means it's in that triangle.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Good. And we know that this side is going to be the adjacent side, correct?
Adjacent and then and opposite side at the bottom.
Good. All right. And you know that the 10 is going to be the hypotenuse. Agreed. You with me?
Okay, okay, yes.
Good. So now, if you look at this, it's looking for the ratio of sine of the angle R. Give me sine of the angle R in terms of the number. What is that going to be?
Not theta, ma'am.
No, not theta.
Oh my goodness.
But you've just labeled it for me. You've just labeled it for me. Just look at the numbers that match the things that you've labeled.
Ma'am,
So
you
we
said
know
for
that sign of R is going to be the opposite over the
adjacent.
sign, Shaden, sign, so, sign is OH. So opposite over,
Hypotenuse.
good, it's opposite over. What is the opposite in terms of the way we've labeled our diagram? 8. Good. Over, what is my hypotenuse?
8/10.
8/10. Beautiful. Divided by, now they want us to look for things in terms of the angle theta. So I'm going to delete all of this way we go. Right. Now we need to go find theta. But theta is in that triangle. You see that?
Okay.
So this side will then be called my,
Adjacent.
good. This is the adjacent. What is that side of there?
Opposite.
Good, opposite. And we know that side would be our
Hypotenuse.
hypotenuse. Okay. Good. Now they want tan of theta. And we know that tan is lower, correct? Opposite over. So they
24/10, I think.
beautiful. Yes, absolutely. Opposite over adjacent. Opposite is 24. Adjacent is 10. With me. Good. Now we just need to simplify this. Okay. Like I said, Shaden, for me, it doesn't work. In my head, I don't know how to cancel things when I'm looking at it. So I'm going to take this over here, and I'm going to change that over sign into a divide. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the top divided by the bottom. So I'm going to go 8/10 divided by 24/10. You see what I did there?
Yes, something.
You're with me? Okay. If we change this divide into a multiply, we're going to tip and time. You agree?
Okay.
So I'm going to get 8/10 times 10/24. Okay?
Okay.
Then the 10 will cancel.
Yes, tens cancel.
And then what do I have left?
Is it 8 and 24?
So it's 8/24. And if I simplify that fraction, I'm going to end up with
Hold on. Maybe
I
say if
simplify
you
is going to be 1/. This stuff that I've done over here, we did this in grade 6, so it shouldn't be an issue right now.
it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. I don't know what's going on.
It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult. Okay, but take a screenshot and go have a look at it very carefully. All right.
We'll practice, man. I'm gonna practice. It's me and this maths tonight.
Okay. Good. Good. I'm going to give you something else to go use to practice. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Excellent. All right. Okay. Here's the next thing that we're going to be looking at. Okay. So it says, refer to the diagram below. All right. That's exactly what we're going to do over here. Right. I want you guys to take a screenshot of this. Okay, because this is where we're going to start on Wednesday.